Okay, let me tell you a little bit about my Blackberry U-Pick operation. First of all, I put up some signs. I like the DVD, CDs. They attract not only sunlight, but headlights also. So I tacked one on this pole, and this is rounding a corner going north. And that's my place there, and that's the blackberries out there. But anyway, this is what they see coming around this corner. Excuse my, and you'll see that sign there, blackberry patch. And on the other side, I've got that sign. And blackberries U-Pick. So this is, then they'll come down the driveway. Again, there's the blackberry patch sign. There is the actual blackberry patch. Got it fairly close to the road. But as they drive down the driveway, most of the time they're not in an electric golf cart. I've got a canopy down here. You know, I'm just showing you what I do in case you want to do something like this, because it has been quite profitable. So as you walk up to the canopy, I've just got a couple of tables set up out here. Typically I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes out here and onions. And got a table here with a variety of buckets, and at any given time I've needed pretty much all of them. One time there were 10 kids and 3 adults out there, and then some more came, and so it's been real busy. These are probably an 1/8 of a bushel, maybe. No, it's not a quarter, probably an 1/8 of a bushel, and that's a little bit smaller. That's about 5 inches, 6 inches in diameter. That's more like 8 or 10. I'm got some of the big belted ones that I made, and it's a pretty neat idea. Money saving idea number 3, I think. We'll put a link to it maybe. And then anyway, after they weigh, then I will use the digital scale here. This is not brain surgery, but I just kind of want to show you. And I will zero out an empty basket. And then they weigh their berries, and it's $3 a pound. So I open the gate there, and I keep that open, and they go out there and pick. And again, it has been, well, I know the NSA and IRS are listening, so it has been real nice for about a month. And so let's just leave it at that. I've got 700 feet of blackberries, and probably I'm averaging about 100 pounds a week being picked. And so I don't, you know, I don't know how many you would have to have in your area, how well they'll grow. But they have done well. They're starting to peter out. In fact, this first row, that first row and the second row, I have already taken out all the old dead canes, and that's what those are right there. But you can kind of see that they're pretty clean underneath, and the next one over is kind of bushy. There's still some berries. I'm going to be open probably this week, but it has been, it's really been good. They're just slowing down now, and I know it's this is probably the last week of a big of people not walking away unsatisfied. One lady picked one day. A lady picked 27 pounds one afternoon in about an hour or so. She came back the next day with a friend of hers, and she picked another 4 or 5 pounds, and the other lady picked 3 or 4 pounds. So the demand, I guess what I'm trying to say is the demand is out there, at least around here. There's only one other guy around me that has a berry patch, and he has had it for years, and it's a much bigger operation. He's got 4,500 feet of berries. I've got 700 feet. And from what I saw when I went over to visit him before I opened mine up and kind of pick his brain a little bit, he just didn't have that many berries. In fact, he was gonna, at the end of this year, he's gonna mow them all down and start fresh. So next year he probably won't have any berries, if maybe just a few, but very many berries at all. So next year I expect mine to be again booming for about a month, and that's about the season, is about a month. Now these primocane varieties, and if you've been watching any of my blackberry videos, you'll know that there's a primocane and a floricane variety, and the primocane varieties will produce a fall crop. Matter of fact, let me just show you, take you out there right now and show you some of the blooms on this year's canes. I've got my plastic bags hanging up, ready to sack up my blackberries or tomatoes or whatever they buy. Okay, I still have some berries and a little bunny rabbit, little baby. I got a mama and some babies in here. That's one of the little babies. Pretty gentle, pretty tame. They doesn't seem to be too scared. Little kids love it when they jump the rabbits. You can hear them squealing up in here. Mama, I saw a rabbit. Pretty cool. They're eating berries, but you know what? I've gotten more enjoyment out of listening to the kids hollering about the rabbits than they could eat all the berries they want. But as you can see, it's slowing down. They're starting to die, and I am 4 feet from that rabbit. He doesn't care. They're starting to die. I still have quite a few, but it's not real easy picking like it was before, and the berries aren't quite as big. You know, that's about the size most of them are. Every now and then you're gonna find a big one, but that was a little red, a little tart. But what I wanted to show you was, and give you a quick lesson. These are canes that came up this year. That is about 5 feet tall. I pruned them at about 4. That's where I pruned it. And then it starts doing the laterals like I've told you before. These are called primocane. It's a variety called a primocane. It's called that because it bears on this year's cane. All other varieties that, you know, before they came out with this, as far as I know, all the other varieties were what's called floricane. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me explain this. The canes that come up this year, this is all this year's growth. These are called primocane. Next year, this same cane, this will be called a floricane because it's 1 year old. But these primocane varieties bear on this year's growth, and then next spring they will put out a huge crop. This right now it's not a very big crop, but I tell you what, all those blooms are going to make berries. So it's not bad considering. Look at that. So I'll have in a month I'll have some more berries right here. A lot more berries. Look at that. So again, one more reason, as far as I'm concerned, one more reason to do the primocane is because you get 2 crops. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it now, it's more like a continual crop than it is a spring and fall crop. They advertise as a spring and fall crop. Well, it's, you know, as you can see, it's summer and they're making now. So it's more of a good hard spring crop, big spring crop, very vigorous, and then the fall crop, what they call the fall crop, is more of just a continuously having a few berries for fall production. But let me show you what I'm doing. Again, that's the pile of the dead canes, the last year's canes that are pretty much played out. They've already been picked off. Goes another rabbit. As you can see, there's still some pretty good berries here. Well, that's to eat that one. Cutting into my profits. But as you can see, the canes are dying. Leaves are dying. So what you do, and I may do just a video on that, is did a bunny. What you do, and the reason I am not eating these is because someday I may need to. Right now I don't. What you do is the best way to do it, not the way the commercial growers do it, because they just have so many to do. But if you have a decent sized patch and can do this, you'll come in here at the end of the year and you can see how I've cut out all the old growth, all the old berry vines. See how cluttered that one is underneath? Not just grass, and the grass will get away from you if you're not careful, but also the old dead growth. I will come in there, cut it off as low as you can. Wow, there's a good one. Look at that. I got to get that one. That's a good one there. And take out the old growth. And that way, I think, it helps. First of all, it takes out disease. You're supposed to take them out and burn them, just in case there's any diseased canes. And I think it helps these younger plants, some of the younger ones. I've got some small ones still trying to come up, and helps them get some more sun and are going to do a lot better. So this is what I have done, is come in here. You can see how it just really cleans up the rows. And I did trellis, and I'm going to do a video on that. I did put up a trellis, a real simple, quick trellis, and I'll show you that. But that row also I've cleaned out. Again, the grass will take over because you're watering this. You're not watering the middles, you're watering here, so the grass is gonna find its way. I marked a couple of leaks in my drip line. I'll be splicing those, fixing those. People have just had a ball out here picking. I've kept the walkways mowed as best I could, getting as close as I could to the berries without squashing them, running over them. Next year will be a much better year as far as ease of operation, because I have the trellis now, and this is all this year's growth. Those are 6, 7, 8 feet tall. I wish now that I've trellised that I hadn't have pruned these off at 3 and 4 feet. Wish I'd let them get a little taller, because the trellis now will keep them from falling over. But the people have just had a ball. It would be worth it, even if I hadn't have charged them. Just the compliments I got on all the on how sweet the berries were, and how thrilled they were to come out here and pick. Lots of families with kids, parents with their children, grandparents with their grandkids, and they have just absolutely had a ball out here. And so anyway, I just wanted to show you this mainly, was the fact that the primocane variety, even though everything else is pretty much dying out, all of last year's stuff, I've just got these little old remnants of berries. We were gone a couple of days, so on vacation, so a lot of them didn't get picked and dried up, but it's just a couple of days. But anyway, all this got to come out. This is, these have already produced their berries for this year, and they're dying out. But look at the new growth. 7 feet tall, blooming right now. More blooms to come. More blooms to come. So I'm going to have, and I've told several people, given them my number and told them that, I'm the ones that came out and picked 2 or 3 times and want to know if I'm going to have any more, that I will have berries probably the rest of the summer and even into the fall, and for them to call for availability. I'm going to shut the gates as far as shut the gate to the public, and I'm not going to advertise that I have berries, but a few that I might on Craigslist, if I don't get enough people coming, I might advertise and just say availability is limited, but give me a call. Anyway, just thought mainly I came over here to show you the primocanes that are bearing again this year's cane bearing, which is something new. I don't know how old primocanes are, but I think they've only been developed in the last few years. And before that, you did not have a fall crop. And as you can see, this is this year's growth, this year's cane, lots and lots of berries coming on. If my bees will pollinate them good, we're in like Flynn. And I'll make even more off of it. So think about a blackberry operation if it's something you would like to do. Again, I've thought about it for years, but I'm retired now, and now I can be here where before it would have to been an afternoon or evening picking, and just, you know, it wasn't feasible. So, and there is a liability issue, and I have not addressed that yet. If somebody comes in here and gets, I don't know, gets hurt somehow, will my homeowners cover it? I don't know. Bobby at MHP Gardner and I have discussed this on the phone, and he told me some horror stories of people that were selling at farmers markets and things like that, and that there needs to be some protection. And I agree, I just don't know what that is yet, so I need to talk to my insurance guy and just see what that is. But anyway, consider doing this. But again, they're playing out right now. You can see the plants kind of giving up the ghost here. But the new stuff's coming on. New stuff's coming on. So think about a berry farm. Some of the parts of the country, maybe you can't do blackberries. Maybe it's raspberries for you or blueberries or something. I don't know. But, you know, these blackberries just don't take a lot of work. Except at the end of the year, cleaning out this, man, especially those thorn ones. That's tough. Whew, man. Ran into a wasp nest up in there yesterday. Didn't like that a bit. But I'll be able to come in here and make these rows a lot cleaner, because I'm gonna cut some of these, dig some of these up that are out a little further than what I want them to be. I'm gonna dig those up and try to replant them and get them out of the aisles. And it's just gonna be a lot cleaner for next year. The berries should be up a lot higher. Instead of low to the ground, they should be some waist high and above picking. So I'm excited about next year already. With that, we go.